Good morning, church. Pastor Dave here with the musing for the 27th of April. My Thursday evening Bible study is working through the book of Genesis, and there's a very interesting story in that book about a man named Jacob. Now, Jacob was the younger son of Isaac, who was the son of Abraham. And God had promised Abraham that from him would come a great nation, and that through his lineage the whole world would be blessed. Well, Abraham's descendants became the nation of Israel, and his family tree led in a direct line to Jesus of Nazareth, in whom the promise was fulfilled. Now Jacob had two wives, Leah and Rachel, but he did not feel the same about both. You see, he labored for 7 years to earn the right to marry Rachel, only to have her father pull a sort of a bait and switch on the wedding night so that Jacob consummated his marriage with the wrong sister. The father-in-law then insisted, well, that if Jacob wanted Rachel, he would have to labor another 7 years. Well, such was Jacob's desire for Rachel that he did exactly that. You see, Rachel was the love of his life. Leah was a step along the way, maybe even a roadblock. Rachel was where Jacob's heart was. But Leah was where God's plan was. Rachel was Jacob's choice, but Leah was God's choice. The promise of God, that came through Leah. Jacob and Rachel, a great love story. Jacob and Leah, a great covenant story. Leah was tolerated, but unloved. Leah was not the star of the show. But Leah carried the promise. Leah gave birth to Judah, and from the tribe of Judah came Christ Jesus. So Jacob chose Rachel, but God chose Leah. And in the end, interestingly, so did Jacob. You see, Jacob's family had a special tomb, and when he was about to die, Jacob gave very specific instructions about his burial. In Genesis 49, he tells his family, "Bury me in the cave where Abraham and Sarah are buried, where Isaac and Rebekah are buried, and where I buried Leah." Jacob chose to be buried beside the wife that God had picked for him. Rachel was buried elsewhere. She was buried alongside the road on the way to Bethlehem. After all was said and done, Jacob aligned himself with God, with God's plan for his life. He eventually, finally, chose God's way over love, over passion, over emotion. Friends, God's way is often not what we would have preferred. We would follow our feelings instead of our obligations, chasing our passions instead of our responsibilities. I'm afraid we would elevate Rachel and overlook Leah, but not God. In our lives, we go through many peaks and valleys, and at times we feel that we are not winning, that we are the second choice, and that therefore our lives are not important and we don't really matter all that much. That is a lie. In God's plan, over and over again, the rejected ones become the main characters. The unwanted, well, they take on great significance, and the overlooked, those are the ones through whom he builds eternity. In God's great story, Leah is the important one and Rachel is the supporting player. So if some days you feel like you're living a Leah story, take heart. You are not wasting time. Perhaps you are simply being prepared for something yet to come. Trust God and wait for those final scenes to be played out. He has written the perfect role for each one of us. God bless you all.